Good afternoon and Jai Hind student. Today again I am here with you all for class 9th history, and the name of the chapter is Socialism in Europe and Russian Revolution. Till here we studied about liberal, conservative and radical system in Europe between 1850. Now my next topic is the coming of socialism to Europe. So, when we discuss about the liberal, radical, and conservative system in the Europe, then we must have to understand how the socialism entered in the Europe. So, all of a sudden, the socialist kind of government did not formed in early 20th century. The process exactly began up from 1850 when the common people like women, passive citizens, non-propertied man and children below 21 year, industrial laborers, they all were fed up of liberal and conservative form of government because these two kind of government were not providing them equal rights within the society like right to vote or UAF. So simply we'll be studying that from where these people started thinking about socialism in Europe. So by the mid 19th century, which is called as 1850, socialism attracted the widespread attention and a well-known body of ideas for the common people, not for the monarchs, not for the liberals, not for the radicals, and not even for the people who were wealthy individuals and can afford their lifestyle. It was for the commoners. About socialism, people who were deprived of the resources and the governmental laws were not helping to improve their situation, they started thinking about social equality. So socialists were against of individualism or private property system, and they find causes for all the social ills this individual private property system. Because industrialists own the property, they gave the employment to the common people, middle classes, and they're concerned to give the employment. It is not for the betterment of laborers or workers, it is for gaining the profit, it is for their personal gains. Socialists wanted more attention would be towards collective social interest. They don't want that the rich become rich day by day and poor become poor day by day. Socialists wanted that the collective social interests should be there, and people, government, liberals and conservative focus towards the social equality. So socialists wanted change in the liberal and conservative society of Europe, where individual property system, wealthy people, powerful people were gaining power, and those who are poorer without the power, they were suffering somehow coming up to 1850 Europe. So these kind of people started thinking about socialist society. Through the views of socialist in your chapter, about 4 socialists it is mentioned. So first of all, we'll see the socialist views of Robert Owen and Louis Blanc. So the socialist like Robert Owen and Louis Blanc believed in the idea of cooperative. Like in society, people should make cooperative of women, cooperative of men, cooperative of teachers, cooperative of milkmans, cooperative of weavers. So people should make cooperatives, and by following the footsteps, the idea advised by the socialist cooperative, a leading English manufacturers built a cooperative, first cooperative, which was called as New Harmony in Indiana, and it was established in USA. But the problem with this New Harmony in Indiana was that the many socialists started thinking that this kind of huge cooperatives where so many groups of people were involved, it is not the successful idea, and somehow government did not encouraging these kind of cooperatives. So put forward another idea put forward by Louis Blanc to increase the demand for the cooperatives, and Louis Blanc of France demanded that the government should replace the capitalist individual property wealthy millionaires. Government should replace the capitalist and form the cooperative. Like even for industries also, government should form the cooperatives where association of people produce good together, and another hand they divide the profit by selling that good equally within themselves. So they were against of that only and only the investor or capitalist who is investing money in the industry earn the profit alone. They believe that profit should be equally distributed within all. My next two socialists whose views are mentioned in your book were Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. So we'll study here now what Friedrich Engels and Karl Marx believed. So Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels believe that the industrial society it was of capitalist. Industrial society it is run by industrialists, where industrialists become very powerful by investing money in the factories. But in term of investing money in the factories, he keep all profit with him by sharing a bit of wages to the laborers. Even that wages accomplish the demands, day-to-day demands of the laborers, they least bothered of it. He thought that the worker got less wages for their involvement in the production, and whole profit was accumulated by capitalist or individual property owner or factory owners only. So he advised workers to overthrow the capitalist government or capitalist. It was just kind of revolutionary idea which Karl Marx was advising to the workers and laborers that if industrialists did not provide you equal share of profit, so do one thing, overthrow the capitalist and take over the factory in your hand, and whatever production going on, just distribute the profitable amount within all equally, like from chairman to the manager to the common workers. The profit should be distributed equally. So after studying the Karl Marx amongst all four, the Karl Marx advises to study this chapter is very much important, because after one page, I think page number 30, from page number 30, you'll be studying about Russian Revolution. And in that whole Russian Revolution, 3 revolutions were there, you'll be hearing one single name, very much important name, and that was of Vladimir Lenin. And Karl Marx, Vladimir Lenin assumed him as his teacher to teach about the socialist. Whatever ideas Karl Marx had introduced, Vladimir Lenin had applied through the Bolshevik party on Russia. And coming up to 1917, he was successful in his idea, and the first socialist form of government formed in Russia in 1917 after October Revolution. Now, we'll study, we know, as I told you in the previous slide, that first socialist form of government formed in 1917. So now here we have to understand that what was going on between 1850 to 1917. So let me tell you one thing, my dear student, that not a single form of socialist form of government was formed till 1917 in Europe, not on the world level even. So by the 1870s, socialists had formed the workers' union at the city level, then joined with all the cities in the country, and then joining with all the cities, all the unions within the cities, they made one head or union that was on the country level. And by joining all the countries' labor union, they had made a second international, the major biggest labor union on the Europe level. So till 1870s, different nations of Europe like Britain, France and Germany began forming workers' association. These associations were formed by workers. Let me tell you one thing, it were not formed by industrialists or capitalists. Workers within themselves started making unions and started demanding from the industrialist and liberal and conservative government for better living, right to vote for the laborers, and working condition. They set up the funds to help the members in the time of crisis, my dear student, like how we play kitty or BC and all kind of within ourselves. Government did not say us that we'll have to make a group and we'll have to share monthly income, and that at the end of the month will give collectively to one individual of that group. It was never ever, today also in India, it is not decided by the government. It's we as people decide that we have to make the group for financial backup. We have to help the group by investing some money monthly wise, and then at the end of the month, one member will be getting whole collected amount. So similarly, the laborers at that moment in Europe set up the funds to help the members in the crisis time, like festive occasions, marriage sessions, or for the medical emergencies. They by themselves helping each other without taking help and concern of industrialists. And similarly in Germany, these union helped the SPD, the major political party, Social Democratic Party. You'll be studying about this party in Nazism chapter. It was very much important party, and it was the party where Hitler was working. And this party helped to win parliamentary elections to the political parties. These union formed in Germany helped to the Social Democratic Party to win the parliamentary elections. Similarly, in Britain, 1905, the trade union and socialist unions were formed, and they have made, to form these trade union and socialist union in Britain, they have made Labour Party. This Labour Party got right to vote even. And similarly in France too, the Socialist Party was formed. So overall conclusion for this topic is that these workers union were successfully interfered in the electoral politics and pressurized the liberal and conservative government to shape the legislation for their rights. As soon as after 1870, these union within their country got the right to vote. So somehow they became very important, because in the cities where elections were going on, these people, these laborers were very much important. And the party who promises them to give them proper right, proper wages, to compel industrialists to give them proper health, housing and education facility, they all were giving vote to that party. So slowly, maybe coming up to beginning of 20th century, not a single form of socialist form of government was formed in Europe, but these labor organization following the socialism funda became very important. However, till the end of the First World War, there were no socialist form of government around the Europe, not even on the world level. Thank you and Jai Hind.